I don't know if I've ever heard a more heated argument in the audio world than people comparing amp sims to the real thing. Which is better? Which is easier? What are the pros and cons of each? When you're recording, there's a lot of pressure not to take any missteps. You want to get as many things right as you can. So which should you go with? What's the right move? At my studio, I have both, and I use both. And I think the only way to settle this is to have a good old-fashioned gentleman's duel. That's right, get ready. We're having ourselves a shootout. Pew, 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 pew. Welcome back to the Riff Haven Audio Podcast. I'm Dan Ferguson, engineer, producer, and owner of Riff Haven Audio here in Long Island, New York. Okay, let's get one thing straight here. The statement that you can't get album quality guitar tones out of an amp sim are simply not true. That may have been true 20 years ago, but technology has come a long way, and the amp sims that are available today are really, really good. And if you know what you're doing, you can definitely get a great guitar tone out of an amp sim. Want some proof? Here's some pro bands that use amp sims on their records. Spiritbox, Eternal Blue. Throne, Excessive Guilt. Era, their self-titled album. Wage War, Deadweight. Now you can like or dislike those guitar tones, but the fact of the matter is, those are pro bands that are signed to record labels. Bottom line, you can use an amp sim on a record. When I hear the argument about amp sims versus real amps, I'm always intrigued. Human beings are very good at forming an opinion based on their gut and then defending it to the death. You may very well like real amps better than amp sims, but can you explain why? And more to the point, would you know the difference in a blind taste test? Hearing test? Ear test? Whatever, you get the point. Let's do one. Okay, so here's what I did. I created 3 guitar tones using similar gear. The first one was with an amp sim. In this case, I'm using Neural DSP's Archetype Nolly. I'm using the 5150 style head going into the Mesa cab with the green overdrive pedal, which is modeled after the Ibanez TS9 Tube Screamer. To capture this tone, within the plugin, I'm using one singular Shure SM57 just on the outside of the dust cap as close to the grill as possible. After recording the riff, I reamped that DI using a real Peavey 6505 Plus, which I know is not exactly the same amplifier, but it's pretty close. That amplifier is going into a Mesa oversized cabinet, which is being mic'd up with one singular Shure SM57 just outside the dust cap as close to the grill as possible. And of course, there's an Ibanez Tube Screamer before the amp. And for one other guitar tone, I did a hybrid approach. I took that same DI and reamped it through the same Peavey 6505 with the Tube Screamer before it, but this time it's going from the amplifier into my Sir load box, which is then going back into the computer. That tone is then being fed into the same Neural DSP Archetype Nolly with everything turned off except the cabinet. So we have 3 different guitar tones, all captured with similar gear using the same exact DI. The last thing I did to each tone is I used FabFilter's Pro Q3 EQ match function. This ensures that we're getting the same EQ curve from all 3 guitar tones. The only difference we should hear is the character that we're getting from each tone. So let's check them out. All right, so I'm not going to tell you which tone is which. We're going to do a little surprise here. So we're going to call this tone A. Here's what it sounds like. So now we're going to head over to tone B. This is what tone B sounds like. And lastly, we have tone C. Here's what tone C sounds like. All right, so what do you think? Can you pick out which tone was which? Let's check them out in a mix. time for the unveiling. Tone A was the hybrid tone, the real amp going into the load box with the simulated cabinet. Tone B was the real amp going into the real cab. And tone C was the amp sim. Now my question is, what were your thoughts on this before the shootout? Are you a real amp purist? Are you anti-amp sim? Could you tell the difference? Which tone did you like best? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Very curious to see what you guys say. Always remember, nobody cares how the sausage is made, as long as it tastes good. You either have a ripping guitar tone or you don't. There's not many rules when it comes to music, but one that I absolutely live by is that if it sounds good, it is good. Hope you guys enjoyed that. It was fun for me. If you got something out of this, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week.